WWE returns confirmed, plus some great news for WWE and so much more. It's all coming up right here on The Ango Show. Welcome back to TAS, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget, we go live Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern. We talk about everything that's happening in the world of pro wrestling. Trust me, you guys don't want to miss it. We're always talking about some crazy stuff. Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Dynamite. Make sure you guys tune in. Okay, before we talk about the WWE returns, let's talk about some great news for WWE NXT 2300. WWE put up the tickets for this special extravaganza for WWE NXT. They are going head to head with AEW on November 6th. The reason why WWE is not going live on Tuesday is because WWE does not want to be competing with all of the coverage that is being done for the United States presidential election. And therefore, the show will be taking place Wednesday live at 8 p.m. They will go head to head with AEW, just like the good old days. But now, how excited are people for WWE NXT? Well, the episode has been officially branded NXT 2300, and that's because it's taking place at the ECW, the classic ECW arena. We talked about the rumors of WWE doing it there. And then what was really interesting is the tickets went on sale today, but WWE actually sold all of the tickets within 30 minutes. So how much of a demand is there for this event? Guys, there is a lot of demand for this event, and clearly WWE is going to be going off on this episode because it is very important for them to beat AEW. And I'm very intrigued because we have been talking about the ratings, you know, obviously NXT being on Tuesday, Dynamite being on Wednesday. We have been talking about the ratings, and one of the most significant aspects is that AEW and NXT are like this. Literally like this. They are very close in competition. The Dynamite A show is going up against the NXT C show for the WWE brand. And quite frankly, NXT has been pretty damn impressive in recent months, but now there's been a lot of momentum. Is it necessarily shocking that NXT 2300 sold out? No. Now, it's not the biggest venue, so it's not like it's that much of a challenge compared to maybe doing Chicago or whatever it may be. But this is great news for WWE. The demand is there. People are excited about it. And quite frankly, I'm excited about this because I think 2300, this episode is being branded so special. I think it's really going to make Tony Khan try very hard. But that leads us to our first return. Bully Ray is expected to be making an appearance at WWE NXT 2300, which obviously makes a lot of sense. I have a very strong feeling that we will, in fact, see the Dudley Boys on NXT programming. We know that Bully Ray has been revealed for the meet and greet that will be taking place for the event, and it is expected that Bully Ray will be returning to WWE programming at this event. Now, will it lead to anything more than a one-off? I don't believe so. I think it will be a one-off, and I don't think this should come as a shocker to many of you, but with WWE branding this as an ECW special type of show, obviously the cross-promotion there exists. Bringing in ECW Legends will be intriguing to see how they interact with the up-and-comers of WWE NXT. I think it could be some really good, compelling television. And I think if you're trying to stick it to AEW, if you're trying to compete head-to-head with AEW, I think there's a lot of good that could come from having ECW's involvement. It's not very often that we see ECW celebrated, but when it is celebrated, I do think there is a demand there. I think fans love the nostalgia of ECW, and I think there's a lot of people that are excited about this. I also think it is very, very good for Bully Ray to be on WWE programming from once in a while. I like this guy. I could really see some cool things with Bully Ray possibly giving somebody else the rub. And I think that's always a great thing when you can have a veteran, when you can have a legend in the business show up on TV, put somebody else over. I think it's really cool. I think for WWE NXT going head to head with AEW, you're going to need to stack it with some ECW names. The Dudleys are obviously synonymous with the ECW brand. Another name that I fully expect to appear on NXT 2300 is, of course, Paul Heyman. While that hasn't been confirmed, Paul Heyman being on NXT television would make a lot of sense. It wouldn't have been his first time on NXT television, but of course, being the mastermind behind ECW, which literally revolutionized wrestling. Today in pro wrestling, we are seeing a lot of influence from ECW still involved. So I do see a very big scenario where Paul Heyman could also be there. And I just think that's a good thing. Obviously, WWE is going to stack up the show, and they should. I think for AEW, the best thing that they could do is just try to get some momentum before that episode. I think for AEW, they are struggling a little bit, and that's okay. You're going to struggle. You're going to have ups and downs. But the big thing about Tony Khan and what made Tony Khan so good at AEW in the beginning stage was that competition, right? I think that competition with WWE NXT really forced Tony Khan to do some great stuff. I look forward to seeing how both companies go up against each other. And then, of course, it's going to be fun to take a look at the ratings, because why not? All right, guys, another WWE return has been confirmed. This time, it appears Shinsuke Nakamura is headed back to WWE. We just talked about him going to Pro Wrestling Noah in 2025. WWE did not have creative plans for him on television, and that's why they haven't been using him. However, PW Insider has reported that Nakamura is expected at this Friday night's Smackdown event in Brooklyn, New York. WWE will also be airing a live episode on Friday night before taping next week's Crown Jewel Go Home show. So how will Shinsuke Nakamura be utilized? What is he going to be doing? I think these are all good questions. I do. Shinsuke Nakamura hasn't really been utilized. He hasn't been utilized at all. I say put him in the United States title picture. This is a guy who should very well be involved in the mid-card at the very least. He should very well be involved on television. The fact that he's not is very insane to me, especially because SmackDown's mid-card division, it's not really balanced right now. There's obviously a big focal point, with Carmelo Hayes and Andrade. You have to wonder if WWE could build maybe Andrade and Nakamura. Maybe Baron Corbin comes back into a singles role. I don't know. They have the people there, but they're not all being utilized. Shinsuke is one of those guys not being utilized. I see this being a situation where he should be utilized, so I'm glad that he's returning. Hopefully, WWE is not just bringing him in for the sake of one episode. I hope this leads to something more. Keep in mind, AJ Styles was just pulled off television as well due to injury. So it just makes a lot of sense for Shinsuke Nakamura to come back. I can't wait to see Shinsuke Nakamura come back. I look forward to seeing what WWE does here. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the Ango Show. Don't forget, click that subscribe button, ring that bell. And if you guys want more videos like this, you'll get them every single day.